Stop. Look at your carry-on right now. If you have a Ziploc bag full of Monday through Sunday pills, or worse, a single Tylenol bottle stuffed with 5 different colored vitamins to save space, you are walking into a trap. You think you're being efficient. You think, it's just vitamin D and fish oil, who cares? I'll tell you who cares. The Japanese customs officer who just detained a tourist for 3 hours because one of those unlabeled energy supplements contained a stimulant that's legal in Ohio but a federal crime in Tokyo. Or the US customs agent who sees a bottle of mixed pills and doesn't see vitamins. They see unidentified controlled substances. They aren't just confiscating your $40 probiotics. They are flagging your passport, slapping you with a fine, and in extreme cases, barring you from entry. And the worst part? The TSA let you through security with a smile 5 hours earlier. I'm Cost Kaka. For 15 years, I managed high-stakes logistics and import compliance. I've dealt with the FDA, the CBP, and border agencies from Sydney to Zurich. I've seen pallets of life-saving medicine destroyed because of one paperwork error. So when I see travelers using those cute little pill organizers for an international flight, I don't see organization. I see a seizure waiting to happen. Here is the reality check that travel blogs forget to mention. Security is not customs. Most of you are prepping for the TSA. You're taking your shoes off, you're measuring your liquids. Great. But the TSA is looking for bombs. Once you land in a foreign country, or when you come back home to the US, you are dealing with customs. They are looking for contraband. And to a customs officer, an unlabeled bottle of mixed pills looks exactly like contraband. Let's break down exactly why this space-saving hack is destroying your travel plans. When you mix pills, you remove the only proof you have of what those pills actually are. You might know that the blue one is a leaf and the yellow one is turmeric. But to an agent at a secondary screening, it's just a bag of loose chemicals. If you are entering the United States, CBP agents have broad discretion. If they can't immediately identify a pill, they are not going to Google it for you. They have the right to detain the items for testing. You aren't going to wait around for that. You're going to abandon the property and walk away, or you're going to sit in a windowless room while they test for narcotics. But it gets significantly more dangerous when you travel internationally. Let's talk about Japan. I see this constantly. Japan has some of the strictest drug laws in the developed world. There is a document called the Yunyu Kakunin Sho. It's an import certificate you need if you're bringing in more than a month's supply of prescription meds. But even for over-the-counter stuff, if you have a mixed bottle and one of those pills happens to be a cold medicine containing pseudoephedrine, like Sudafed, you aren't just losing your pills. You could be facing arrest. If that pill is in its original blister pack, the officer can read pseudoephedrine and just confiscate it. If it's a loose, orange pill floating in a jar of gummies, now they have suspicion of intent to smuggle. You have escalated a minor regulatory issue into a criminal investigation. And it's not just Japan. Australia, New Zealand, the UAE, these places have zero sense of humor about mystery pills. I know this sounds paranoid. You're thinking, Kaka, I've done this 10 times and never been stopped. You're right. You got lucky. But supply chain logic dictates that you only need to be unlucky once to ruin a $5,000 vacation. If you want to know how to pack your meds so you breeze through the nothing to declare line like a diplomat, hit that subscribe button. Because in a minute, I'm going to show you the customs-proof packing method that I use personally. But first, we need to talk about the one specific type of medication that gets seized more than anything else, and you probably have it in your bag right now. The number one category of medication that gets Americans in trouble isn't some obscure tropical drug. It's what half the country takes before breakfast: stimulants. If you have ADHD and you take Adderall or Vyvanse, listen to me very carefully. You are walking into a minefield. In the United States, that bottle is a prescription. In Japan, it is practically heroin. Japan has a strict ban on amphetamines. It does not matter if you have a doctor's note. It does not matter if you have a letter from the Pope. If you bring Adderall into Narita Airport, you are trafficking a stimulant. You will be arrested. And it's not just the heavy stuff. Let's talk about your sinus infection. You grab a box of Sudafed, the real stuff with pseudoephedrine, and toss it in your bag. In Japan, anything with more than 10% pseudoephedrine is restricted. Now, let's fly over to Dubai. In the UAE, medications containing codeine or tramadol are controlled substances. If you land in Dubai with Tylenol number 3 because your back hurts, and you haven't filed the specific electronic permit with the Ministry of Health before you boarded the plane, you are technically a drug smuggler. This brings us back to the mixed bottle disaster. Even if your medication is 100% legal in your destination, let's say it's just high blood pressure meds, you have zero protection if they aren't in the factory bottle. I call this the original container doctrine. Customs officers operate on a simple heuristic: if I can't verify it, I seize it. When you dump your pills into a generic plastic organizer, you have stripped that medication of its chain of custody. The officer sees a white round pill. Is it aspirin? Or is it Captagon? They don't know, and they don't have time to test it. The label on the bottle is your first line of defense. It needs 3 things. 1. Your full legal name, matching your passport. 2. The doctor's name. 3. The exact chemical name of the drug. If you threw away the bottle to save 2 inches of space in your carry-on, you just forfeited your right to argue with the officer. But Kaka, you say, I have the bottle, I'm safe. Wrong again. The bottle proves what the drug is. It does not prove you have the current right to possess it. Labels can be faked. Old bottles can be refilled. To actually customs-proof your medical kit, you need a redundant layer of proof. You need a physical copy of the actual prescription script or a letter from your doctor, signed and dated, explaining why you need this medication and the exact dosage. And here is the kicker: it needs to be in English. If you are traveling from a non-English speaking country to the US, or vice versa, and that note is in a language the officer can't read, it is trash. Finally, there is the quantity trap. You might find a great deal on your supplements abroad and decide to bring back a year's supply. Bad move. The FDA and most international customs agencies have a 90-day rule. Generally, you can only import a 3-month supply of medication for personal use. If you show up with 500 pills, you are no longer a tourist. In the eyes of the law, you are a distributor. That's commercial import. That requires a broker, duties, and a license you definitely don't have. So, we know the mixed bottle is a mistake. We know which drugs trigger the alarms. But how do you actually pack this stuff so you don't look like a walking pharmacy but still stay legal? There is a specific kit configuration I use that satisfies the TSA, satisfies customs, and fits in a carry-on without taking up half your bag. It's called the red-green layering method, and in the next video, I'm going to show you exactly how to build it. Alright, let's solve the packing problem. You need to travel light, but you need to stay legal. I use a system I call red-green layering. It separates your high-risk items from your low-risk items so you can breeze through inspection. Layer 1 is green, the OTCs. These are your vitamins, ibuprofen, and melatonin. The amateur move is taking a giant Costco bottle that is 10% pills and 90% air. The dangerous move is dumping them into a baggie. The pro move? Blister packs. In the logistics world, we love blister packs. Why? Because the foil backing has the name of the drug and the dosage printed on every single square inch. It is factory sealed. It is tamper-proof. A customs officer looks at a sheet of Advil and waves you through in 2 seconds. Stop buying bottles for travel. Buy the boxes with blister sheets. You can stack 50 sheets in the same space as one pill bottle. It is efficient, and it is 100% compliant because the labeling is built into the packaging. Layer 2 is red, the prescriptions. These are your do not touch items. Blood pressure, anxiety meds, anything with a prescription. Do not try to hack this. These stay in the orange pharmacy bottle. Period. But here is the trick. If your pharmacy gave you a massive 90-day bottle that won't fit in your toiletry bag, do not move the pills to a smaller, unlabeled container. Go to your pharmacist. Tell them, I am traveling. Can you print me a second, smaller labeled bottle for a 10-day supply? Most pharmacists will do this for free. They put the official sticker on a tiny bottle, you put your trip supply in there, and you leave the big jug at home. You now have a space-saving container that is legally bulletproof. Now, where do you put them? Most people bury their meds deep in their suitcase, wrapped in socks, hoping nobody finds them. This is wrong. In the security world, concealment implies guilt. I use a clear, transparent packing cube. I put my red layer, bottles, and my green layer, blister packs, inside. I rubber band my doctor's note and my prescription copies to the outside of the red bottles. And here is the most important part. I pack this cube last. It goes right on top of my clothes, right near the zipper. If a customs officer opens my bag, the first thing they see is a hyper-organized, transparent kit with clear labeling and paperwork attached. What does that tell them? It tells them, this person is not hiding anything. This person knows the rules. Psychologically, you have just de-escalated the search before it even started. Look, traveling is stressful enough. You are worrying about jet lag, currency exchange, and finding your hotel. Do not add international drug smuggling to your itinerary just because you wanted to save space. The mixed bottle is a mistake. It is a lazy habit that works fine at home but fails miserably at the border. Keep it labeled. Keep it original. And for the love of everything holy, if you are going to Japan, leave the Adderall at home unless you want an extended stay in a government facility. If this video saved you from a potential customs nightmare, do me a favor. Hit the like button so YouTube shows this to other travelers before they make a mistake they can't undo. And I want to hear from you in the comments. Have you ever had a run-in with customs over medication? Did they take your protein powder? Did they question your vitamins? Drop your story below. I read all of them. If you want to know what gear I use to organize all this, check the description for my travel logistics loadout. I'm Cost Kaka. Stay compliant, travel smart, and I'll see you in the next one.